Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
of course. Thanks for agreeing to come on with us.
Yeah.
Sierra, can you get your camera to work? Should,
No, it's the same thing as
so
before.
at the bottom where it has the camera picture, if you click on it, does it do anything?
As before, it's you need access to live.
Ah, okay.
Mm.
Well, I guess you'll just be vocal.
Woo!
No worries. How are you guys doing? What's up?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Almost Friday, right?
Yeah, I know. Thank heavens.
So
So happy
close.
it's my Friday.
Today's your Friday.
Well, cool. Yeah, if you just want to introduce yourself and we can get rolling.
All right, cool. Well, I'm Jen. This is Sierra. We are with the Bangover Cult. So essentially, we do interviews with artists to help promote them, and we love your music, so we wanted to interview you guys.
Thanks so much. We
Of
appreciate that.
course.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're excited.
Yeah, us too. So, I mean, obviously, you're hosting this, so I'm sure most people know who you are, but if you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Christian, you want to take the lead? Go for it.
Absolutely. I'm Christian. I'm the vocalist of Acacia Ridge. And as of recently, I also play guitar on a few songs, which is pretty exciting because I love playing guitar. Anson.
Well done, Christian. Well done. Yeah, so that's our beautiful front man, Christian. I'm the bassist of the band. My name is Anson, and yeah, that's what we do.
Very cool. There's a comment saying, I had to scroll back because I thought you were Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy at first.
Yeah, dude, you got the hair
You kind
for
of
it
have
now,
that about
baby.
you.
I just need to be blonde. That's the main character, right?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Charlie Hunnam is that actor's name. That's not a bad looking dude.
Yeah. I used
Well,
to
thank
love
you.
that show. It's a good one. All right. So, how did you guys get started with music?
It's a great question. Christian, would you like to tell this?
Yeah, that is a good question. So I started doing piano when I was like 5, and it wasn't my thing, and I like struggled the whole 2 or 3 years I did it, and finally convinced my mom to let me do guitar. So I did that all through junior high and high school, and then I really wasn't a vocalist until we started writing music for this project, because we just hadn't found one yet, and I started writing melodies and lyrics that I thought would fit pretty well, just for when a vocalist finally came along, and I just kind of never stopped doing that. So now I guess I do vocals for the project.
Awesome.
Well said. Yeah, so similar to Christian, I actually started with piano too, I think, and I was 4 or 5 years old, and then that led to violin, and then yeah, eventually we got to the meat and the potatoes as a musician. I picked up guitar, or actually bass guitar for the band, which we were in a band before this, and then it kind of created Acacia Ridge eventually, where yeah, Christian picked up vocals, and the rest is history. So
That's awesome. Well, I love your sound. You guys have some awesome music out there. Do you have anything new coming up?
ooh, maybe.
Ooh, we might. Yeah, we actually just filmed a music video on Sunday for the next single that's coming out. Um, don't have a date for that yet. That'll probably be that won't be too long, but we haven't solidified a release date quite yet. But yeah, we got stuff in the works.
Awesome. Sierra, did you have a question?
What is your guys' creative process into writing a song?
It's a great question. Well, Christian is a magician or a wizard, as you could put it, when it comes to music writing. We kind of have a couple of different stylistic approaches to writing. Typically, what we'll do is one of us will create kind of the structure of the song, and then we hand it off to one another. Usually, Christian and I are kind of the main sources of writing, and then we bring that to the table. Usually, I bring a song to Christian that I've been working on, and then he'll start to kind of actually connect it together so it makes more sense. because usually I'll have like a good part, and then Christian can actually have it make sense. And then the rest of the group comes in. Steven adds drums. Um, Flip is production side of things. He has his own studio, Aggressive Audio, and he does a lot of recording work for us, things like that. So, but yeah, Christian, what's your take on that?
I mean, I feel like it goes a little differently every time, but uh, generally, I kind of, at least lately, I've been looking at writing and our music as kind of like there's two parts of the whole, and I kind of like to think of the rhythm section being the rhythm guitar and the bass and the drums, and if they're doing something interesting or intricate, or I've figured something out that I think really deserves the spotlight there, then I'll have the treble section, which is usually the second guitar, and then some synths, and then usually some vocals. um, Kind of take a back seat and just let the other instruments kind of have the spotlight. So it kind of just depends on what I come up with first. If it's like a really interesting chord progression, then I'll develop that and let the drums and the bass kind of relax. Or sometimes it's the other way around where you just get this gnarly riff, and then it's all about finding ways to kind of frame it and supplement it with the other instruments.
Right.
Cool. Who have been some of your influences?
It's a great question. Recently, we have been all over a band called Tesseract. They have phenomenal composition with their pieces. I'm making it sound like they're a symphony orchestra, but they're really cool metal musicians. They have a lot of technicality to their riffs. Vocals are really atmospheric. I know Christian loves that band as well, but there's quite a few. I mean, it goes back to when our original influences growing up as kids, listening to rock music in our parents' garage, or just while they're working on their, I don't know, I said parents' garage, like just doing shit around the house, like, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, you said it. I think Tesseract's that's that's number one right now, and probably has been for the last 6 months or so. Just because I like the way that they build moments. Like it always feels like each section could kind of be its own. It feels like every part of the song could be your favorite part of the song. Like there's no weak moments from point A to point B, and they put a lot of time and a lot of care into all of that. Um, but I also think with inspiration and who you're influenced by, um, I feel like what usually happens is I'll end up taking inspiration from different artists for different parts of the song. So I think for like guitar, I have different inspirations than I do for vocals, or when I'm, you know, I think that's pretty common. So it's hard to nail down a defined list of who we're inspired by.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sarah?
What would be your dream venue or location to perform at?
Oh, that's a great question.
Question.
We've always said like if we were to do a big like worldwide tour and just go all over the place, I know a few of us are really excited about playing a place like India because you don't see a lot of like world tours go through there. And at least from the discourse online, it seems like India has a lot of people that are really hungry for like good rock and metal music. So it's not one you hear a lot, but I think it'd be an incredible experience to play a show in India.
That would be cool.
That'd be awesome. Dope.
What do you think, Anson?
Man, the other day I saw, as I was looking for potential, not tour, festivals for us to play, I came across this festival in Europe that's at like an old castle and fort. And
Whoa,
I mean, I never had thought of this before, but I was like, man, that'd be really cool to like play a festival at like a castle.
that'd be way cool. And I guess on the theme of like good scenery for a venue, Red Rocks would be awesome. I mean,
Right?
just the
Yeah.
surrounding there of all those Well,
That would
you
be
know,
nice.
those red rocks. Yeah, I'm sure playing there is a near spiritual experience.
Right? Even just going there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I get so jealous when I hear because it seems like everyone, you know, there's not just a specific kind of artist or kind of musician that plays there. Like I hear about metal bands playing there and folk artists and country artists and you know, it seems like you can really see any kind of music at that venue, um, which is exciting for such a great venue.
Yeah.
That's true. Have you ever been to a show there, Christian?
I've
Or
never been. I'm dying to. I think it'd be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. I haven't either, but definitely bucket list venue for sure.
definitely.
Nope, never. Concerts only. Never.
Looks like Nick in the comments says, "Hey man, AZ is hungry for good music."
We'll
Yeah,
have to head
baby.
down to Arizona
Yeah, we got to go back. We were
for that.
there in November, but you know, November was a while ago. Got to
Yeah,
make sure we're hitting up our neighboring states here and not leaving anyone neglected.
And where are you guys located?
Utah.
Utah. Okay. I'm in New Mexico. Sierra's in California, so
Oh yeah, we're all relative neighbors
yeah.
here.
Relative. What is your favorite song to perform live?
It's gotta be Hive Mind. Well, Hive Mind or um, Losing Control's a lot of fun. I do like that one a lot. That's the one that's coming out next. Um, I think it's different though because I play guitar for Hive Mind and something about the energy of that song. I think it's just really well written, and I think the light show looks really good for that. And it always seems to have a good response. But I'm always a sucker for the new stuff too. So Losing Control is definitely one that, as of now, has a special place in my heart until it's replaced by the next single.
It's a good answer. I'd honestly agree. Yeah, Hive Mind always has a great crowd reaction. It seems like it's very emotional and it's atmospheric, which is fun. And simple to play, so you don't have to think a lot while you're playing it. You can just kind of engage with the audience more. And then, yeah, Losing Control just has some really good driving riffs that, like, you physically have to headbang. So I think that it's fun and it's new, as Christian said.
And
So
it's new, you know. We're always suckers for the new ones.
mhm.
Yep. Gotta promote the new singles.
Yeah, and you know, once you've played the old ones as many times as we have, it just you're just not as into them anymore, you know?
I can
Like
imagine.
we had our number one song on Spotify forever was the song called Malevolence that I get the sense not many of us actually liked to play that much. And so I think it was a good day when that was no longer our number one song and we didn't have to keep playing it just because we knew people wanted to hear it.
I think on Malevolence, you have to hit a really high note too on vocals, don't you?
Yeah, at this
Kind of.
point, that was the highest note in our set for a while. At this point, I think the highest note is in Chimera, but because Malevolence was the first song that we wrote in a studio, I had never like written something as we were recording it. I just didn't know what I was doing, so it's wall to wall vocals. There is no breathing room in that entire song. So we finished that song live, and I'm like, it's just wheezing over the lack of breaths I've been able to take for the full song. And then we usually go into something like Anarchist after, which is also very vocally intense. So I'm just glad I don't have to I'm just glad I don't have to do that live anymore.
I bet.
In the music industry, what has been your biggest challenge to overcome?
I
It's
know
a
what I
good.
think it is. What do you think?
Um, I know for me, it's being patient because you want things to happen immediately. Um, but I mean, there's all kinds of barriers and challenges. What are you thinking, Christian?
Well, I think there's a lot more white noise than there ever has been in the music industry before. And I think, you know, it's awesome that with social media and with how easy it is to release music and get yourself out there, it's never been harder to get noticed. So it's nice to have so many avenues get attention, but because of that, there's so much more competition, and we know too many incredible artists that just aren't getting enough attention because they have to compete all the time for everyone's eyes.
Yeah, you can definitely understand that. That's kind of like why we created Bang Over Cult, because like there's so many good artists out there, and we're like, even if we can help just a little bit to get the word out, and whatever we can do.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really
I think
appreciate it.
that's awesome, and I know we appreciate it, and I'm sure every other vocalist that you get to talk to appreciates it too.
Yeah.
Looks like Nick says, "Is there ever a high on stage?"
Ooh,
Let's see. As far as like,
in what sense?
yeah,
Are
Um,
you high on stage?
there's high moments that are very high energy or high emotion. Um, in general, we don't play shows high though because we try to make sure the music is really tight and really on, and that is not always the case when some of us like to get silly. So, uh, not in that sense.
What do you guys like to do for fun outside of music?
well, I know Christian's been getting into tap dancing.
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding.
real passionate about tap dancing right now, guys.
Can we get a video?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me just, pull a routine out of nowhere. No, well, you just went on your first bike ride of the year, right?
Yeah, so I bought a motorcycle last year, and that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, pulled it out of storage a couple days ago. Now that we have nice weather, so I've been doing that, exercising a lot, which a lot of us in the band do. Hiking. Uh, yeah, just really looking forward to warm weather activities. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been nice and warm the past week or so here in Utah. Um, yeah, it's probably time to get back into hiking now. I liked hiking last year, so probably keep that going. But other than that, like, I don't know, music really is still the hobby that I end up going to in my free time, even though it's more like a job with what we do in the band. It's still my love and my passion. So, we'll be tired of writing a whole day, but I'll still get home and I'm going to pick up the guitar anyway because that's what I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we hear that a lot. The guys will be like, is there anything to do outside of music? Like,
Yeah, really though.
yeah, a lot of people we talk to are also producers and stuff too, so pretty much do it nonstop.
Yeah, producers are that's probably different though because I know Flip, who's our producer, gets burned out pretty easily. It must be hard to have it be that much of a job, you know? So I'm always impressed by producers that are still doing music as a hobby and are still like passionate about it.
Yeah.
hmm looks like DJ Scully has a question. Go for it,
Yeah,
DJ.
pop it in the chat.
What's so how long have you guys been doing the your stuff supporting kind of smaller musicians?
So our first interview was in November, so it hasn't been too long, but we've interviewed like tons of bands all over like we even had a band from Egypt. We've interviewed two people from Greece, so it's been awesome. I what I like about it is learning people's backstories, like why they got into music, why they're passionate about what they're doing.
Definitely. Well, it looks like DJ said, I was curious if your guys' music video came out. So not yet. It'll probably be a couple of months, five, six.
I don't think it'll be a couple months, but
I think probably about 5 weeks would be
something
like.
like that. That's probably accurate. Yeah. Yeah, so the one we filmed on Sunday won't be out just yet, but we do have a few music videos on there already. Um, there was one that we did, the most recent, with it was a collaboration with another band called Late Night Savior. We did a pretty cool video for that. Um, but the next one's something special. That's gonna I think a lot of people are gonna be very happy with that one.
Definitely. Yeah, we're pretty stoked on it. We put a lot of work into this one, so
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
for sure.
What is the craziest experience that you've had at a concert?
Oh,
That's a good question.
It could
that's a
be
good
a concert
question.
that you went to or a concert that you performed at.
I've had a
Oh
couple of
man.
cool experiences. One thing that was well, okay, so if I'll do a show I've been to and one show at ours. There's been some funny moments and not so funny moments at our shows. We had a big show at the Depot, which is a local show in Utah, and we were playing a more technical song called "Seeing Red," and all of a sudden my bass sound wasn't coming out. And what had eventually happened was I found out that my cord had actually been unplugged by the our videographer who was walking around us and stepped on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like a funny thing, and it's no problem at all. You know, stuff like that's bound to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't very funny in the moment though, because you
No,
guys were all
because
turned
I had
around like,
to,
"Oh
yeah,
no, something went wrong."
diagnose what was going on. You know, when you have like 300 people there, so it's like, oh no. Um, Another funny thing was, well, let's see. I mean, there's been a lot of things. So Flip and I will jump into the crowd sometimes when we play Anarchist because we have wireless packs on our guitars. And I remember one time, this was kind of earlier in our career, like 2020, I think, or 2019 is kind of when we were doing some shows. And I remember jumping off, and I kind of like to push people around, you know, when they're moshing because I'm playing guitar at the same time. Just kind of a fun thing Flip and I do. And I remember my headstock accidentally hit someone in the face.
Oh no.
And I mean, it wasn't funny because, like, at the same time, I'm kind of like apologizing while I'm playing, while I'm going back up on stage. But they kind of just like hit their head into it. It was totally by mistake. But that's something that stuck with me, so I'm a little bit careful. But
Careful when you jump in next time. Yeah,
yeah,
there was another funny video at one of our shows where Flip at the end of the set like was throwing picks into the audience, and I remember we got a video of him pegging some lady in that like right on the forehead with a pick because she was standing
No.
right in front of the videographer. So it's like the camera's right here and she's right in front of him, and we got a nice slow motion shot of Flip winding up and sending it. You can just track it fly through the crowd. That was a funny video.
that was
Um, I gotta say another good concert moment though, one that I've been to, was seeing a band called Vola at Kilby Court, which is kind of a popular venue here in Utah, and their drummer, that was probably the most fascinating performance I've ever watched because he looked like he was getting possessed or something. Like his limbs would fly all over the place and his head was twitchy, but he was dead on. He wasn't missing any notes. It was just a very odd way to play the drums.
one funny thing we got on video was we with our old guitars, half stack is what we called them because that's just an inside joke of like, you know, audio equipment. But anyway, Alex Christian was singing and came up. This was live at Kilby Court.
Oh, I know
And
what you're
Christian came
saying.
up and slapped his ass. And then what was funny though is when he slapped his ass, his hand got tangled in his in-ears monitors, like so he could hear,
Oh.
and it
Yeah.
unplugged his in-ear monitors. And this was, I have this on a video. It's so funny.
Oh
And,
man,
and
I
Alex
forgot
was just
about
like,
this.
"What's going on?" And
Yeah,
then
because not only did someone slap his ass when he wasn't expecting it, but now he can't hear anything because I unplugged his battery pack. So
Oh
that
my.
was that was funny, and I had peacefully forgotten about that until you just brought it up again, sir.
it's a video that lives near and dear to my heart. It's pretty
Oh,
funny.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy stuff happens all the time. I remember I saw the home team last year. They opened up for Census Fail and they were like setting everything up, and then, you know, they go hide behind the curtains and the intro music comes up, and then they go to start playing and something wasn't plugged in. I'm not sure what it was. And then they just like stop and they're like, "Sorry guys." and the singer was like, my bad, I forgot to plug that in. And then they go pretend to hide again, and then they come out and start over. I was like, okay.
It's funny. You said that was the home team?
Yeah.
Cool. I've been seeing them lately. They're doing really good on TikTok.
Yeah, they're cool guys.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any pre-show rituals?
Oh, I can think of one. Can you think of any?
I can think of kind of a couple.
Yeah, so I wouldn't go so far as to call them rituals, but there are definitely things that happen every time. One thing we do that I don't even know if you refer to this as this, but I always call it starfishing because that's the term that was told to me. So before a show, you basically just like spread your arms out and spread your legs apart, and you kind of walk around like this, just stretched out as far as your limbs can go, and you're just getting used to like getting out of your box, so you're not playing all hunched in front of the microphone. It's just opening you up. So you can always count on at least one of us doing that backstage, is walking around like that.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you come up to me, Anson comes up to me, makes a point to go, hey, that crowd out there, as your crowd. And I go, thanks, Anson. I know. You told me last time and the time before that.
I say it every
it's
time.
your crowd.
Yeah,
He's getting me hyped
you
up.
own that crowd out there.
You own that
It's
crowd.
your
That's right.
show.
That's what you say.
Yeah, I get them. Yeah. But yeah, we do the starfish, just make ourselves big so we can build our confidence, get excited. And
Is that what you were going to say? What else were you going to say?
we definitely stretch a lot before a show. Flip's always stretching his back out. He's just laying on the ground somewhere because he's got a
Old
bad back.
man, dude.
And then, yeah, I mean, that's about it. Honestly, the one thing, yeah, when I go up to you, Christian, that's like the only consistent thing I do. Just
Yep.
like on that
And I
crowd.
can count on it every time. I remember on tour, it didn't happen one night, and I don't think I've ever been more disappointed. It was like, oh no, oh
Well, you
man,
said
the
I
show's
didn't
going to
do
be
it.
terrible because I don't own that crowd
Oh,
like Anson always tells me I do.
Oh my goodness.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
the show was fine, but it was definitely like you forgot.
All right, well, I know we're coming up on half an hour. I don't want to take too much of your time. What is the best way people can support you guys?
Sharing content, I think, is the best thing these days. If you like any of our songs and tell your friends about it or your coworkers, that I think does more for us than liking a photo or anything like that. So sharing content for any small artist that you like is a great way to help them out. Yeah, and then going to shows, just showing support that way. I think we get caught up in the social media aspect of everything, and we forget like the performance and the music is what we're all here for. So make sure you go to shows when your bands are coming through town, or if any local bands are playing in the area, make sure you go support in person too.
Yeah, definitely. And do you guys sell merch if people are interested?
Yeah, it's on our website, which I think is Acacia Ridge Band. And yeah, we sell them, of course, at shows. That's a dumb statement for me to say.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, but yeah, on our website.
Okay, very cool. Well, we will link it. And we just
Thank you.
wanted to say thank you guys. Is there anything else you want to promote before we jump off with you?
Nothing I can think
Just
of.
yeah, thanks for having us on. We appreciate your time and love the work you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so
as
much.
well.
We appreciate you reaching out to us.
All right, well, we can't wait for the new single, and everybody stream it when it comes out. And you guys have a great night.
You
Sounds
too.
great. Rock on.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.